Ever wondered how Omega Earth is able to come over to Alpha Earth so easily to try and steal our Radianite? Or why it took Alpha Earth so long to be able to finally travel to Omega Earth when Omega Earth had no trouble doing it? Well, it all has to do with teleportals. Hello everyone, my name's Illumi and welcome back to another episode in this Valorant lore series. If you're enjoying this content, please drop a like and subscribe below, it means so much, thank you. Before the map Pearl was released, you may have noticed that Alpha Earth was always defending the attacks of Omega Earth. Omega wanted our Radianite and came over here to steal it. They had teleportals that let them travel from their Earth to ours, but on Alpha Earth, our best portals were the ones you see on Bind. In comparison, the Bind's TPs are super dinky. They can only go a super short distance within one location, much less to Omega Earth. In order to try and bridge the technological gap between Alpha and Omega's teleportals, Killjoy began working on finding a solution. Chamber, who had recently been recruited to the VP, was able to provide schematics of the teleportals that he saw on the map Fracture. Remember that on Fracture, both Alpha and Omega scientists were working there, and there were teleportals on the Omega side of the research facility. As Chamber was snooping around this Everett Lynn facility, he found the schematics and later gave them to Killjoy. As she began her attempt to recreate it, she was met with an issue. She didn't have a large enough power source. She even accidentally caused a power outage at Valorant HQ. At a loss for how to overcome this, Chamber realized he may know the solution. Neon. As we now know, Neon is a radiant with bioelectric powers. She is capable of producing so much electricity that her father invented a surge protector for her so that she could better control her output. The one problem with this plan to get Neon to help Killjoy was actually Chamber himself. Although he knew her, they were not on good terms. Both of them worked for KSEC at the same time, and that's actually where they met. Chamber worked in the weapons design department, and we don't know what Neon did while she worked there. We know that her father worked there as the creator of Radiant Support Technologies, helping other Radiants control their powers, much like he helped his own daughter with her surge protector. It's plausible that she worked with him, but that's just speculation. Regardless, Chamber and Neon met while working there, and Neon formed a rather negative opinion of Chamber. Unfortunately, we don't know what happened between them to cause the rift. However, it meant that Chamber had a solution for Killjoy's power supply issue, but he wasn't in the best position to ask Neon for help. So, Chamber reached out to Brimstone with this voicemail.
Bonjour, Brimstone. I have sent you my intelligence for number 19. The file is quite comprehensive. Kingdom keeps far too much data on its employees. As you'll see, her abilities are uniquely suited to help with the special project. She is a perfect fit, I think. Unfortunately, I cannot reach out to her directly. There is a past misunderstanding that may make her less receptive. But as a fellow KSEC veteran, I am sure she'll meet with you. Appeal to her sense of service. She gets that from her family. This is exciting, no? Good progress.
Brimstone then reached out to Neon about joining the VP not just as a power source, but also as a combat recruit in their fight against Omega Earth. Despite the general mistrust of Chamber within the VP, they accepted his suggestion of the new recruit well. Neon and Killjoy began working together on the teleportal to Omega. Neon's bioelectricity is pretty crazy. She tells us that with voltage caps on her suit, she would be able to power an entire large city block complete with hotels and restaurants. That's a crazy amount of electricity. However, Chamber suggested that they remove the limiters on her suit to help give more power to the teleportal. He believed that her suit was capping her power as a precaution, not a necessity. However, we know that this is not the case. Neon says that if they were to remove the limiters, she would end up destroying half of Valorant HQ with the amount of electricity that would have nowhere to go except fry everything in its path. We actually get a hint as to how badly she needs this suit from her player card. On it, we see a rift has formed over the mountains of the Philippines where she's from. There seems to be an electric storm within it that's the same color and look as Neon's bioelectricity. The current theory is that Neon caused this rift accidentally because of her inability to control her power, hence why her father built her the surge protector suit she wears now. Clearly, Chamber didn't understand the extent of her power, and he ends up apologizing for his mistake. But his apology falls flat with Neon, who already doesn't have a good relationship with him. After a brief interruption of Fade blackmailing the VP, Killjoy and Neon eventually overcome the setbacks in building the teleportal and complete the job. With that, Fade was the first member to test the teleportal from Alpha to Omega Earth. The teleportal worked successfully, and while she was in Omega Earth, she went on a reconnaissance mission. Turns out, the place where the portal led to was mostly abandoned. As Fade began to explore more of the area, she detected another portal terminal close by, and her nightmare powers picked up on something at this new portal as well. After alerting Brimstone to this new development, the VP began plans for a full mission into Omega Earth. This would hopefully shed some light on a few things. 1. Why Omega Earth was stealing Alpha Earth's Radianite. 2. Retrieving the stolen Radianite. And 3. Showing Omega Earth that they were capable of bringing the fight to them as well. Point number 2. Retrieving the stolen Radianite meant that Killjoy also needed to replicate Omega Earth's spike. The spike is essentially a Radianite vacuum, so that when it detonates, all the Radianite in the immediate area gets vacuumed up and sent back to the other Earth. As Alpha Killjoy gets the spike replicated, they begin their mission prep. Their first mission will be to gain more intel on this new teleportal terminal location, the layout of the city, and the whereabouts of the stolen Radianite. With Neon being a new recruit and working on the teleportal, she is chosen to be part of this mission to Omega Earth, along with Reyna and Killjoy. Since Neon is new, she needed to undergo her combat training. Sage and Reyna argued over who should be her trainer. These two have very different approaches when it comes to training. Sage's training is similar to the monastery training that she received, all about balance, action, and reaction, training to become a noble fighter, proficient in combat regardless of your emotions. Reyna's style is significantly more emotion-driven. We see this in so many of Reyna's voice lines.
If I act superior, it's because I am. I have lied, beaten, killed to survive. I will kill again and again if it means one more day. What can I say? When I want something, I take it. Kingdom bleeds our planet once again. Too many scars to count.
Reyna fights every day to gather enough souls for her and her sister to survive. Reyna's sister Lucia is critically ill, and so most of the souls Reyna gathers go directly to help keep her sister alive. She is fueled by rage for those who put her sister and others into this terrible fate. Circling back to Neon, remember that much of Neon's power control is dictated by her emotions, and this is exactly why her father helped create her Surge Protector suit, to control her radiant powers. This is why Sage lobbies so hard to get Neon to train with her, to be able to control her emotions and therefore her powers. It's hinted that Sage wins this debate at first, and so Neon trains with her. For now. The day finally comes for Neon, Killjoy, and Reyna to head on their mission to Omega Earth, into the city of Lisbon, Portugal, where the map Pearl comes from. What was meant to be a somewhat stealthy mission ends up going awry, but they find out so much information about Omega, their stolen Radianite, and the Valorant Legion, which is Omega Earth's version of Alpha Earth's Valorant protocol. In the next video, we will go over in more detail what happened on this mission. If you want a little sneak peek, check out this brief video I made on it here, or you can find the link in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!